Hello, Midwife-Ke here, and we are discussing about the environmental factors that affect pregnancy. So, do you think there are some environmental factors that would affect you when you're pregnant? Are we even aware of them? So, what do we talk about? So, some of the factors that in your environment would affect your pregnancy. Number one is air quality. If there is air pollution, lots of air pollution, such that maybe there are factories around and there is all smoke everywhere and the chemicals, if air is polluted, it may affect pregnancy. And that is why it's important that when there's so much air pollution, you may need to stay indoors and then be out when there is no much air pollution. The next thing that affects us in the environment is the water quality that we have. Remember, water is important for rehydration because we always say that we need to hydrate well in pregnancy to make our heart function well, the cardiac output, and ensure that the baby is well supplied with blood and even your brain. So water quality matters. You need to take clean water. If you usually fetch water from a river, you need to have boiled water, well-boiled water. Get clearly the measures that you can take to make water clean in your area or community. Being in a place that has sufficient water is an important factor for women because water will also be important for cleaning utensils, yourself bathing, and just having a clean environment. The next thing that affects you in your environment is the chemicals that are around you. Any chemicals around you could affect you. If you are working with the pesticides, those ones could also affect you greatly. So it's important to know when to keep safe. Another thing in the environment that affects us is the climate that we have. Remember, the issues of climate change have been very, very intense. And this one is even higher in terms of effect to our women and children. When it comes to water, lack of water, you may find people who are dehydrated, and this one has led to a lot of chronic illnesses in pregnancy. It is important to just try and be somewhere near water where there are sources of water. Also, be safe from floods, and floods may affect women such that you may have a lack of access to the clinic, especially when there is a lot of water on the roads and you're there. People are not able to pass and the roads are all affected. When there are wildfires, like what we have had in LA currently, you find women and children could have a very challenging time thanks to the people who are helping them because they are able to get food and even water for free. You find now women who have been affected by fires, they could be lacking places to stay and yet therefore living in very stressful environment, and stress could also affect the pregnancy, leading even to premature labor and other complications. So when there are wildfires or you get information that there are fires around you, fires that seem to be spreading, it is just be able to move out earlier because pregnant women could not be able to run for their lives like other people. So you need to leave earlier, just sense the danger signs earlier and just leave. Go to where you can be safe, consult anyone who can help with a place to stay further. It could be relatives or friends or even the government. Just be far from dangers of wildfires. So always ensure you're safe. And of course, when there is extreme sunshine, you find all extreme heat. The first thing that you are affected by is the heat stress, where the body itself responds to the heat stress, and you find us having diseases and also premature labor and other problems. So when you're affected by heat stress, ensure measures to cool down. When there's too much heat, ensure to help yourself by rehydrating well. Rehydration is medicine to a lot of problems. And also, take showers. Just try to be in cool places as much as possible. You can have fans in the house and ensure as much as possible you're trying to get into cool places. The heat also affects us in terms of nutrition because you realize you need to get food and it could not be easily accessible because of the dryness in the places that maybe you live. So it is important to take care of yourself by trying to find food as early as possible and organizing the finances as early as possible. So climate issues are there, and of course we need to also act on that, and we'll be talking about our action on climate change. The other problem in our environment could be radiation. If you live in a place where there is high radiation going on, especially maybe in hospitals where we have like x-rays and other examinations that bring in radiations, maybe you work there, or maybe there are areas like where people have had, in countries or in places where people have had war, and the nuclear maybe materials that have been thrown there could be producing some radiation effects. It is important to know that that is not healthy. If possible, stay in areas that have less radiation, because radiation causes some birth defects which could be serious and cause our babies not to thrive better or well. The other thing we want to talk about the environment is just hazards around you. Having hazards around you, including water. Just having water in there. Maybe you work in places where it's just the floors are wet and you can easily slide and fall. And remember, we also have noise. Noise can affect some women to the point that they even get to premature labor. It is important to ensure that you, if possible, live in as cool as possible environment. So prevent those hazards. Let us prevent environmental hazards or problems that could cause risks to our pregnancy, and take care of ourselves. And also in your houses, ensure there is enough ventilation so that you are able to breathe at ease, and also to avoid hazards such as the carbon monoxide and all that come from our activities in the house. I wish you all the best and a good time in your pregnancy.